Hey everyone, Ryan Young, KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu. I hope you're doing well. Today's question comes from Joe Schmo, who contributes a lot to our comments. Thank you for that, Joe. This was in response to get better in BJJ with better training partners, so a very recent video. How many hours a week should someone train? At what point would it be an overload and reach the point of diminishing returns? That's actually a very good question. So when determining how many hours a week you should train, different people make with their time on the mat, they have different results. So for someone who may be good with twice a week, in order for another person to get that same result, they would need to train 4 times a week. But what's a good rule of thumb? So if somebody were to call me and ask me about training at KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu and say, I can make it only 1 time a week, I would then say to them, can you make it more? Well, you know, the time that I really have available is really once a week. So then I say, well, here's the thing. By only coming once a week, if you're an extraordinary learner, you can learn jiu-jitsu on just once a week. But if you're the average person, think of a minimum as twice a week, and 3 times a week would be better. So for most places, a class is 1 hour long. Here, it could be 1 hour long, it could be 1.5 hours long, or it could be 2 hours long, depending on who the instructor is and the time slot that you're looking at. So if you're coming to the nighttime slots that I teach, you're looking at a 2-hour class. If you're coming to some of the morning classes, depending on the individual instructor, it could be 1 hour on the nose and done. And other instructors have more time flexibility, and they may run their classes 1 hour and 15 minutes or 1.5 hours long before they have to close up shop and go. The amount of time that you spend on the mat, you know, if 3 hours a week is a good amount of time for you, for 1.5 hours class, that's 2 classes. For one of my classes, it would be 1 class plus maybe 1 hour class. And for another instructor that we have here, it might be 3 classes a week because 3 1-hour sessions a week. But it really comes down to how quickly you learn and how well you process. So I have some students on twice a week can make incredible gains, and other students on 3 times a week make fewer gains than that. It really is dependent on you to a large extent. But at the same time, it has to do with your durability. Sometimes your body just can't hold up to training for 5 days a week or 6 days a week. In fact, there are times when many of us would go through a period of 5, 6, 7 days or even 9 days in a week. Somebody might train those many days in a row and feel like crap. You know, back hurts, joints hurt, and you need to take a rest. So if your body is such that you can't go 4 or 5 days a week, then for you, that is the tipping point at which you've overtrained. And for other people, it could be 2 days a week. You know, your body's just so not used to the burdens of training. Some days, two days a week is enough. It gives you time to recover in between your training sessions, and that's all you can do. So it's an individual thing. So what I always tell people is plan on at least 2 days a week and try to do more. But you really need to let your body tell you how many days a week you can train, because 3 days a week may be overtraining, 7 days a week may be overtraining. But younger people tend to have a quicker ability to recover than do older people. So younger people, they can just constantly get beaten up, and then have a meal, go to sleep, and they recover just fine. Whereas older people, it doesn't work that way. You need a lot of rest, a lot of sleep, you need days to recuperate. So Joe, in answer to your question, it really depends, but try to shoot for at least 2 days a week, optimally 3. Any other questions? Feel free to shoot them in the comments below, or in your favorite video, create a new comment and then put that in there. If you reply to an existing comment, I probably won't get to you. By the way, we've got t-shirts now in through a link where you can automatically get them through Teespring. So Rusty went and put together some designs for you. So a lot of people have been asking us about shirts, and I don't have, or we don't here at KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu, we run a pretty lean operation. We don't have a warehousing group, a merchandising group, or anything like that that can put together these shirts for you on a really, you know, quick, timely basis in response to all the order requests that we've got. We've got them on Teespring, where you can just feel free to order, and they will take care of the shipping and all that for you. So Rusty did a great job on these shirts. Be sure to visit the Patreon channel if you're looking for some of the techniques that we do. We've got almost 200 videos on there now. It's incredible stuff that you might have seen, but I think by and large, stuff that you have not seen, especially with the details that Dave goes over in on them. So like and subscribe. Like I said earlier, if you have any questions, comment below. Take care now. Happy training. Bye-bye now.